Okay, so we kind of touched on the go-go subject, and we
Yeah.
introduced the people like what you do. So let's talk about the dancing and the whole go-go scene. Like, when did you first start listening to go-go, or like when did you first fall in
Sheesh.
love with go-go?
All right, so I'm a '90s baby. I was born in '91. I know that's telling my age. I shouldn't be all the time, but I was born in '91. So anybody like it was in DC in that time frame. Go-go was created before that, but like the certain style of go-go that started the uprising with the youth,
The slow
that it was,
bounce.
yeah, it's not even not '90s. It was bounce beat was coming like
Well, yeah,
hype.
okay,
It was really hype
yeah.
bounce beat. Slow bounce came when the 2000s hit because like 2000 to 2005, we were still on them fast beats with Tob.
Mm-hmm.
Like the slow bounce was it came apart and
More
almost
so
like
like '07,
2000. Like it got really popular because
yeah.
ABM like they made it hot like so yeah so. But if you was like born around that time and it was just in the area, like you couldn't really get away from go-go. I mean, I'm pretty sure like in the
It was a
schools.
point in time for some years. I wasn't even into rap. I only listened to go-go.
Like,
So yeah,
so
I
that was
feel you.
everybody. It like took over like a storm. So like I can't really tell you when like I fell in love with it. If it for someone living in DC, it was like a normal thing. So it's just like you wake up and eat breakfast all the time. It
Okay,
was
so
something that wasn't.
since you were young, you pretty much
Yeah,
had
like
an
you knew
affinity
about it, you
for
heard
go-go
it, so it
music.
wasn't like you fell in love. It was like something that you do. Like I love eating, but I'm not gonna say I fell in love with eating. I always do it. I always hear it.
Hmm.
It's always around. You know what I'm saying? So like you couldn't really get away from it. From as far as like going to the Go Go's, that's a whole different
When
topic.
did you start going to the
I
go-go's?
started going to the Go Go's when I was probably in middle school. I'm trying to be real specific with you.
I
Um,
remember the very first go-go show I went to, 2012 UCB.
I can't even remember the exact
No,
one.
no, no. I'm
I
sorry,
can't.
2002 UCB.
So it used to be
2002. I was 12.
12. I can't remember like this. I just remember that um it I first started I believe I started going to like I was young, my sister was older. My sister's 1 year older than me. She was at little high school parties and stuff.
Hmm.
And that's when they played go go.
House party.
Yeah, house party. But it was like a school it was a school, y'all know the school Gonzaga in DC. They used to
Yeah,
do these things called blackouts.
I remember. I've been
The
there a couple
blackouts. So
times.
I wasn't supposed to be in the blackouts. I was younger than my sister. I was a year younger. I didn't actually wasn't in no private school. So like I used to kind of sneak into the blackouts just with going off with my sister. And I'm not sure if I went to the Go-Go's before that, but like I remember like really like getting known for beat your feet in the blackouts.
Hmm.
Just like going off of that, like Janelle, my sister's name was Janelle, like, oh Janelle little brother used to be fucking him up. He used to be in that joint cooking like the older dudes. There was other dudes that was in there that was messing him up. And I think I was in middle school. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was in middle school. So I would say that I probably went to the Go-Go's. I'm not gonna be no exactly, but my grade was definitely like seventh grade, sixth grade,
Hmm.
sixth grade, seventh grade. Don't know how old I was. But I
Okay.
just
You
remember like,
typically like 12,
yeah, I don't even remember, but I just
12
know
or 13 when you're in sixth grade,
probably
sixth, seventh
so.
grade.
But I definitely was around my sister. She had a big influence on it because she was around older people that were influenced by it as well.
Hmm.
So when I went to it wasn't a private school, it was called this Jesuit school called WJA. Y'all probably don't know what it is. In the city, I met a couple of people that actually I call my family to this day, and we started going to the Go-Go's together. After WJ, I started going to all private schools. I didn't really last. I stayed back a couple of times, probably twice. Stayed back, so I kind of ventured out into public schools. Went to the Caps, went to Ideal, a whole bunch of public uptown schools, and then eventually after that went to high schools with the Wilson and the Roosevelt. But in like for real, like with transference to so many different schools, I got pulled into the Go-Go's period. But it started like in sixth grade, but like it
Okay.
became very relevant because of the schools that I went to. I could say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So on to how did that transition into you starting this class?
Okay. That's a big jump. That's a big transition. But like I said, like I started off going to Go-Go's, but like beat your feet. I've been beating my feet before I started going to Go-Go because I was going to
And
blackouts.
explain to what beating your feet is for those who aren't from the DMV or
Oh
those
wow.
who are
Okay.
born in 2005 and below.
Right. So every genre of music has a certain movement to that genre of music. Beat Your Feet is just what we personally do to our genre of music. DC DMV are the only people that have this unique style called go-go. Started from Chuck Brown. Chuck Brown, he created a certain pocket, and that pocket got innovated by younger people who started putting skillet beats, saga beats, bounce beats, and twisting some things up and innovating new things. And we started moving from it. From what I know and what I teach all the time, the creator of Beat Your Feet is a dude named Slush from Berry Farms, DC. Rest in peace to him. He got shot in gun violence. And hand dancing in Washington, D.C. used to be very, very potent, and people used to do it all the time. Mm-hmm. My mom used to do it. My uncles used to do it. They was hand dancing. What Slush did, he used to always go to the clubs when saga beats, pocket beats were relevant and was doing the hee-haw. Mm-hmm. And he mixed that hee-haw and he started doing hand dancing. And when the beat started to change, then he started doing like bounce beats and more drives and more consistent tempo beats with no resets. He started mixing the hand dancing, the motions with the hee-haw, and he created Beat Your Feet on accident, for real. People started saying that, oh, he's beating his feet, but it wasn't a solidified name. This is the history that I got from my OGs and like stuff that it makes sense because I'm around it and stuff. And it got to the point, what was the question? Go back real quick. What was the question?
How did you start your class?
Okay, cool. So basically, you say where'd it come from? That's what it was. Where'd it come from?
So then we ventured into where the beat.
Yeah. So it's a dance. It's a party dance, but it come from, you know what I'm saying, go-go. It comes from the go-go. It's a party dance. It was never like meant to be like in the class or taken that seriously. Honestly, it was just something that we did for fun in the party. Like you did it too. You probably know exactly what I'm talking about. Like we just like had fun and we used to battle each other, like kind of talk about each other, like any kind of party when you have a dance battle. It's just like our style of movement, but it only makes sense if you understand go-go, and if you don't understand go-go, that's a whole nother conversation. You know what I'm saying? So and
I think, me personally, to anyone who's musically inclined, who just likes music in general, if you actually just go to a go-go, you will understand it.
Exactly.
Instead of hearing a bunch of, instruments being played and you don't necessarily understand the movements, even aside from Beat Your Feet. If you don't understand how people react to it, you don't necessarily understand it. And it's kind of like, Caribbean music is reggae, it's live instrumentation. So, I feel like most people who just like music in general, like, are going to eventually find a go-go song that they like. You just have to sift through it because it's 1,000,001 go-go songs.
And things that I always say in my classes, why like people are like turned off by go-go, because they hear that one go-go song that's not mastered or mixed properly. And we might like it because we actually been to the go-go, we know how it sounds live, and we have an appreciation for it. But once they hear that one thing that sound like pots and pans or just sound like a whole bunch of noise, it's an automatic turn off. And go-go is the only style of music that doesn't have as many master tracks as every other style. Yeah. So for like off bus, like people gonna not like it because they don't understand it. Because the bigger picture, you had to actually be there to actually feel it, to understand how it makes you feel. Other than like, oh, this doesn't make sense. Like, what are they saying? I can't hear the vocalist. I can't hear the lead mic or whatever the case may be. So it makes sense. So like when I'm teaching these classes and I go around, I always like teach go-go history, and I'm going like back over like how we got to where we're at now, and why go-go is not appreciated and accepted. And then I started giving them like more love for like stuff that they can actually understand, like the tracks that are mastered or stuff that you can hear clearly, or you feel that bounce, or you can feel it, so that they can feel that. Then they actually appreciate go-go more. They actually want to go to go-go's. They be want to look up the music and all that. But I believe the question was, how did we get to me teaching? That was never a thought to teach Beat Your Feet, honestly.
It just happened.
No. It didn't just happen. So back history. For one, I'm the Prince of Beat Your Feet in Washington, D.C. I am the Prince of Beat Your Feet because I am the only other person in the time frame of the Beat Your Feet Kings being potent that had a name for themselves on YouTube at that time back in the day. There was other people that's been beating their feet all around the city. There's this dude named ASS on YouTube. His name's Ass. Don't know why, but he was famous for beating his feet on YouTube. There's a lot of other people, but everybody didn't know how to use the social media and all that correctly, so they didn't put their names out there. Only person I remember was Ass, the Beat Your Feet Kings, and Jay Aruh on YouTube at a certain point in time. So in that time frame, in that gap, I got a certain amount of clout from being in this crew called Sights game back in the day and beating my feet. And so because the city knew me as a Beach Feet guy, like I'm the only one that was in my age bracket that actually had a name for themselves doing it. So at this point now where I'm at, still being around and relevant with the originals and the Beach Feet Kings, whatever, it's like I am the prince since they are the kings, whatever the case may be. So now where we at now? Where we at? Whatever case. So dang, so I be forgetting the questions, bro.
The class.
The class. How we get to the class? So yeah, so as I was thinking like how like Beach Feet started to die at a certain point. We got the Beach Feet Kings that went on ABDC, and there was a whole bunch of there was a lot of clashing in the Beach Feet community. That's how y'all see the Beach Feet Kings broke up, and half of them went on the ABDC, and the other ones stayed in the community, and they called themselves the originals, and they started doing Beach Feet battles in the community and whatnot. But at one point in time, it started to like get like I guess for everybody repetitive, and people felt like they was like doing the same things over and over again, and they felt like it wasn't anything more. So the only person who was picking up the slack and still grinding constantly in the area was honestly Queen P. That was the queen that went on ABDC, the queen of Beach Feet. She was the only one pushing as far as industry wise and whatnot. So when the battles died down, and for crazy legs, at one point he went MIA. Nobody could find him. He was focused on his own life, focused on his job, focused on his family and whatnot. I felt responsible. Not just responsible in the Beach Feet community, responsible in like the go-go community, because I knew like the tools that I could use to actually keep it more potent, actually keep it alive. It's just like, all right, if ain't nobody gonna do it, and Portia's doing it to the best that she can do it, and ain't nobody else gonna do it right, so like step up. You know what I'm saying? Like you have a love for it, like a lot of people, the younger people don't. You know what I'm saying? Because there was a lot of youngins that started getting involved and they started getting names for themselves as well. But honestly, those youngins weren't in the go-go, so they're not gonna love it or appreciate it like us older people are.
Right.
They just got the music off of YouTube and they go to the go-go's now. And being real with you, go-go's now ain't nothing like the experience that it was back in the day. So I don't know if they.
We'll get into that.
It's nothing like that in my opinion. So yeah, so I felt responsible. So I did my first class, and I was really new to like the choreography world. I'm a freestyle dancer. I've been a freestyle dancer, never been like a big person of choreography. And Queen P was always on the industry side, and I was trying to jump over to that, and like not just jump over to that, but like give people in DC more love for it. Because I remember at the point in time people hated it. It'd be people from my city real talking about something that's so stupid. Why do we beat the feet is dumb? Like I heard so many hate comments at one point in time off Beat Your Feet because it started to look a different type of way. It's because Beat Your Feet was changing and the original style of Beat Your Feet was not being pushed to the forefront anymore. So I decided to do the best of my ability, push a go-go that was actually popping back to the forefront so they can like push out original Beat Your Feet styles and grooves and stuff. So I just felt responsible, bro. That's why I started. But yeah, no one told me. I just felt responsible. And it's like, it motivated other people because I got crazy legs to come out of the cut. He came to my first class. Before my first class, he was MIA for about a good year and a half. No one knew where he was. So ironically, he pops out on Facebook right at the time I'm about to do my first class, and he comes. So it was just funny. It was very ironic, but yeah.
Okay. So on to what you were kind of saying about go-go now. Have you been to a go-go recently?
Yeah, probably 6 months ago, went to a backyard show.
Backyard show though. I feel like backyard shows is nostalgic go-go, but it's not necessarily our generation.
It's not.
It's our generation,
okay, so
but it's one generation above our generation.
It's not. You're absolutely right. Have I been to like our generation go-go's? No, recently. No.
Okay.
Absolutely not. I sit on the internet all the time. It don't make me want to come.
Word.
I'm being honest. Have you?
I haven't been, but I've heard, and I have credible sources.
What's the credible? What is it? Great? Is it good? Bad?
I've heard that it's popping. Yeah, I've heard that they restored the feeling. Everybody's just older now, and it's not as more killings. That's what I've heard.
I don't know how to feel about that. I still haven't even like got up the strength or like even got the inspiration to even go to a go-go recently now. I don't, and it's just because if you experience something that like was like up here for you, it's like you don't want to like be open to something that you know that if it ain't gonna be up here for you, like I don't want to go back and like accept that this is what it is right now. So like being honest, like, I haven't went out. If you my friends be inviting me to new impression shows, they be rocking, but on the internet it look like we just all old and we just drinking and looking stupid in the club. Honestly, that's just my perception. It don't look like nobody. It's not no swag people in that zone, photo booth fucking it up. It just feel like we old. That's from the outside looking in.
Right.
But I haven't been, so I can't say nothing. But it don't look like, oh no, that's the swag go-go's I used to go to. It look like, man, real with you.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your favorite style of go-go? Like, is your favorite style the pocket, the socket, the bounce beat, the slow bounce? Like, what's your?
For me, I don't got no favorite style. I love every single style, honestly, to a certain extent. But you talking about like favorite band or like favorite preference?
What's your favorite band? That's a better question.
Damn.